Opa! Happy New Year, everyone. I'm coming to you from the Wellness Dojo here in Baltimore. I'm working out. I got my treadmill over there. We have an incredible episode here coming up with Matteo, friend of the show, and Nick, new friend of the show. They were incredible. What a duo. So funny. I just wanted to remind you, tickets for the Dreamboat Tour are on sale now. We're coming to a whole ton of cities. Check it out. We're posting it right now. I can't wait to see you there. All new stuff, nothing from the specials. And also, calendars, baby. It's January. Buy yourself a Stavvy baby calendar. Why not? Wanted to let you know about those things. Very important. My stand-up comedy and my nude body. Two things I want you to check out. And without further ado, let's start the show.
Opa! Welcome everyone to Stavvy's World. 904-800-STAV. Call in. We'll solve all your problems. We're happy to have, returning, of course, not a busboy in a Greek restaurant, even though he does look like it right now. Matteo Lane.
Nev, got it, stop.
Yeah.
I look like the cast of My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Yeah, that is true. We do have everyone represented here. And Nick Smith, thank you for coming. First time.
Nick is Greek, right?
Nick is Greek, yep.
Yeah.
Nikos, yeah.
Nikolaos. Thanks for coming, fellas. You've obviously been here a bunch. Nick, first time, but we're thrilled to have you. I've seen your guys' clips. You do the pod. You plug your pod right up top.
Our podcast is called I Never Liked You, and it's a 15-minute podcast. And I was just telling Aldous we don't have a studio, but Nick's a real estate agent.
We don't have much of anything, so it's pretty choppy.
It's pretty
choppy.
It's a dog and pony show, but we find these like $12 million houses that have already been staged,
That's
and then
awesome.
just set up in there, film like 12 episodes in a day, and call it. We're like, all right, see you next time, bye.
That
we
is
don't speak
awesome.
for 3 months.
That's a lie. Nick calls me 7 times a day. That's why
That's
we did
beautiful.
the podcast, because he calls me so much. And the
You wanted to
conversation
monetize
As if he
it.
never has called me.
almost
You act
never.
like I'm your stalker.
Kind of.
How did you guys meet?
We met because him and Bob the drag queen were blowing each other, and then
Nice.
after they realized that there was no sexual chemistry, because Nick dresses
Gay
like a
guys
Chinese
are awesome.
vase.
Gay guys are so sick. Yeah, so we were sucking each other off for 3 months, and then we're like, wait, are you having a good time? Not really. Are you? No. Let's just be boys.
And didn't you guys start watching YouTube videos together?
Okay, so what actually happened?
That's what happened.
All right, it
By
was
the way,
very
he's
straight.
the gay McDonald's. What's that character called?
Grimace.
You are
Gay
Grimace.
Grimace,
Yeah. Gayer Grimace, I should say.
Okay, it was a very straight sort of.
I think Grimace is
manly
straight coded.
approach. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You think you know a lot of gay grimaces?
Well, his name is Grimace. He
That's
works
true.
for McDonald's.
That's true.
No, Bob and I met on Grindr, as you do, and we hooked up. But that night, after hooking up, we started watching 5 hours of YouTube videos, specifically golden buzzer moments on Britain's Got
Oh,
Talent.
wow.
That is our
That's
crew.
beautiful.
But that's what straight, you do
yeah.
that with your straight friends, right?
Sure, we were watching Howard, actually just yesterday we were watching Beetlejuice from Howard Stern videos here. So yeah, similar.
after
Beetlejuice
you
was the
blow each
only
other.
one.
After we blow each
Right.
other, yeah.
My favorite whack packer is Eric the actor.
Eric's good.
Beetlejuice, it's all his answers. You never know which. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
go ahead.
Well, anyways, so we started watching that, and then we were like, I think we're friends. And we were friends for a little bit until he realized that I was a gay orphan with no other gay friends.
Oh,
and
really?
he goes, you need gay friends here. And then he introduced me to this idiot.
He pawned you off.
Him on Forced.
Hated each other from the jump.
From
Right.
the jump.
Interesting.
Fighting while playing Super Smash. Our crew is like Bob the Drag Queen, Monet Exchange, me, our friend Jacob, Nick. And we either only watch YouTube videos all day or we just play video games together.
Sure.
And so when we play Super Smash Brothers, I always play as Jigglypuff.
Oh.
Because you can kind of float around and
Yeah.
then come
Because
in
he's
for
a
the
faggot.
kill. Yeah.
Wait. Jigglypuff? Jigglypuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Does
Not
he
Kirby.
have, Kirby has the smash attack.
Yes,
I
Jiggly
like
has the
Kirby.
roll.
Yeah.
But Jigglypuff is just a useless pink puff.
I kind of agree. What's Jigglypuff's big move?
So
Put him to sleep.
It's
Being
called
annoying.
the rollout. No, it's
Okay.
called the rollout. So you could float while everyone's fighting, and then you do this roll charge up,
Right,
and you
right,
come
right.
and you knock people off.
Right.
Great.
No, you float in the air until everyone else has died and there's one person left with one life hanging on. And then you come down
Is
out
that
of the
your
clouds.
cheat maneuver, Mateo? You can
course.
It's
sing
legal.
too. Wow.
It's
You
not
play with no
illegal. I'm
honor.
not cheating.
You play with no honor.
No,
You
but
stay
that
out of
game's
the
not
fray.
about honor. That game's about fucking up with your
He's
friends.
not getting the Purple Heart. Of
No,
Smash Brothers.
yeah.
Okay.
What do you play with, Nick?
I mix it up. I do like Kirby sometimes, or Corrin, because
Okay.
she's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah,
There
she
she
does
is.
look cool.
Yeah, yeah.
She's
Yeah,
cool.
she's from like the Roy and Marth universe, probably, if I had to guess.
The what?
Those other guys with swords, Roy and Marth.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
We never really
You don't
play
know the
as
lore.
male characters. Like
I was
even
going
in
to say, I'm not playing as a guy.
when we play in
Sure.
Fortnite, he plays. We call her the secretary. So she's in a pencil skirt with
I've
glasses
seen
and
that.
heels. Yeah,
That's insane because that's for sure. Little boys are it's to get little boys horny. That's why the sexy
or to
secretary.
empower gay adult men.
Nothing gets me going more than when I hear.
Yeah, that's heels.
Oh, the heels.
And he sucks. We play with our friends Donnie and Simmer and Corey, who are very straight. They play hockey. They're from Pittsburgh, and they're very good at the game. I'm very good at the game. Nick is
Hockey in Pittsburgh, by the way, is what Mateo considers being straight.
the straightest.
It's all of us. It's all of us straight guys, and then this faggot.
Yeah. And we've been playing for 4 years, and Nick has learned nothing. Nothing. So we're all in the battle.
Just looking
and Nick,
beautiful.
I just started building.
Okay, and but he is a good sniper, so it's weird that we're in the middle of a battle. All of a sudden, you'll see someone die. Nick's like, got him.
Nice, awesome. I like that. There's
You
nothing
need
wrong
someone
with
like that on the team.
I do like a sniper. A sniper has more honor than Jigglypuff.
Thank you.
You never seen.
Most things have more honor than Jigglypuff.
Well,
You can put him to sleep as Jigglypuff.
Sure, but what Jigglypuff, her better move is called Dream Eater, and what happens is when you get really close to someone and press down B, she falls asleep and it knocks them off. But it's very hard to get. It was better in Melee. I
Sure.
like Melee on GameCube better. So.
I'm a GameCube guy as well.
I just bought a GameCube and I've been
GameCube.
replaying it.
Yeah.
Me and Chris Condon, great comic, shout out. We've been playing X-Men Legends.
Ooh, that was a good one.
What's that dragon? I played that on GameCube. He was a purple dragon.
Spyro was
Spyro? That's
PlayStation.
PlayStation.
No, it was on GameCube.
I don't remember if they ported it over. I feel like you know what you're talking. I feel like you.
Because I only had my
doesn't know
brother
what
was
he's
really
talking
big into gaming, and I really
Yeah.
wasn't. I only had a GameCube to play Mario Kart and Spyro.
Interesting. I'll take your word for it. I feel
Yeah.
like you have a few cherished gaming memories, and I won't take
That's
those
about.
from you.
Are you kidding me right now?
Why not? I decided this weekend I'm going to vape and then I'll be done. I go in and
Have
out.
you ever
like-
vaped before?
Yeah, Rosebud.
Every
because
day for the last year. What are you
interesting.
talking about?
it comes and
Interesting.
goes. So is
Yeah.
Bob. Bob's vaping now too.
Okay, why don't you throw everybody under?
All right, maybe,
This is about
maybe not. I won't. It's fine.
I like, by the way, Matteo. This you can tell when you really believe in hair plugs when you go with that haircut. This is the like. All right, they took. I'm gonna really flaunt them.
you. The only person who paid for hair transplant was like,
I respect it. I respect
Because
it.
it's not about the hair, it's about the hair line. Those who have lost their hair know it's about the hair line. And I wanted a buzz because I don't want to think about it. My relationship with my hair has been difficult and
Right.
triggering.
Interesting.
So I just want to get out of fucking bed and that's it. And so I go to this guy, this Dominican guy. His name is Jaime, but he goes by Nelson. I have no idea. Anyway, but he told me, because I was like, I want a buzz cut. Thinking they're just going to buzz it. And he was very much like, no, it has to be real artistic style. You have to really cut it. You have to know.
So
we
he could
just-
charge you $80
Thousands of dollars
instead of
to-
just $20 for a buzz.
100%.
Yeah,
and I do it. I leave with full confidence. I'm like, this guy knows.
I'd like to see a straight buzz just to see what it looks like.
I mean, it's already a week out, so I mean, it grows pretty. I'm on minoxidil, so my hair grows really quickly. So I'm going like every other week to get my hair
Interesting.
cut. But I like it. I think it's a good look. Even
It is
though,
a
your
good look.
head shape works for it.
yeah,
It's a good look. I like it.
yeah.
I really think it's a power move to get plugs and then go buzz.
Buzz it.
Yeah.
I mean, you've known me at all my hair.
I have.
From wearing the hat. I only wore hats, and then I had like the coif look to kind of
coif,
cover it,
yep,
and
yep,
then I
yep.
had the lesbian chic last year, and then I got the other hair transplant.
And
so now
the other spectrum of
the
lesbian.
lesbian chic as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Yes, me and Paris Sachet rocking
That
the
is
same
true.
haircut.
Yeah.
Paris makes me laugh harder than I think anybody.
She's awesome.
Has she been on this podcast
Yeah,
before?
for sure.
Dude, she's fucking
funny.
I love her. She's also
Yeah.
a great hang.
Yeah, no, I mean, Paris goes all the way. We did open mics in DC together. I knew her when she still thought she was straight.
Right.
Yeah, a wild time.
When her name was Barcelona.
Yeah, she was. It was awesome. I remember her being drunk as shit at a hookah bar open mic, and me thinking she was just a fun audience member, and it was like one of their first times she had done a stand. They called her up, and she was just like fucking so fucked up.
But didn't we all have to drink when we first went up doing
I never did. I'm an artist. I'm an artist, Matteo.
Okay.
I got up there, talked about not being so fat I couldn't wipe my ass sober as an open micer.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean my material is so atrocious. My material is
he
so.
certainly didn't hear that in his first open mic. Pumping in the applause.
Eldest actually was there.
Oh, I saw that joke probably hundreds of times like in college.
All right, relax about hundreds.
Stavros, the artist, had to work out that
You
joke.
have to work that out. That was in the. I would say it was never a showstopper, but it was in the middle of kind of filler, but kind of on the stronger end of filler.
It gave you an identity to the other wannabe comics.
Well, I just needed it structurally for my act at the time. I needed to get to. I believe another one was there was a punchline that was paddling up the river of semen and tears was one of them because I'm jerking off and crying.
Right.
I'm not getting
We're used to
that was Stav's big closer for years. And I
relax with the years. It was the first year that was my big closer.
Open mic years, you were doing it a lot, and I thought I was like going crazy because I would see this thing like kill in like so many open mics in like College Park, Maryland and shit. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I mean, it was funny, but like that really did bring the house down in some depressing rooms.
Down,
Yeah.
brother.
I was closing on Christina Aguilera doing the alphabet joke for a solid year
awesome.
in New York.
Yeah.
So you haven't changed.
I haven't changed at all, to be honest. Nick just started doing open mics.
Wow, why?
I said, if you want to do stand-up.
Don't do it, Nick.
I said, if you want to do stand-up, I said, don't do these bringer shows. You don't get, you gotta go to the mics.
I agree.
You gotta, but the scene has changed dramatically than when we started.
Semen and Tears, not as much of a hit.
Really?
Not as much of a hit.
We'll see about that. I'd love to be able to take me. Yeah, I'm gonna do the undercover boss thing, but change my face to be an open micer again and just do my pathetic
No
material.
one will recognize you.
What are you gonna dress up like the Penguin? Like, how are you gonna dress like a monocle and a top hat? Like, what are you gonna do?
I'll tell you what. Okay, that's a good idea. To stay out of problematic territory that really leaves us with. I'd have to go Nordic, probably.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I'd have to go like super bleach blonde. You
think as a Greek that you could ever pass for Nordic?
That's what I'm saying. It would take a little makeup.
A little.
It would take quite a bit of
You
makeup.
can do it. I believe in you.
Thank you, Nick. I appreciate
But
it.
what would your name be?
Sven.
Stenros?
Yeah, no, we got to get him off the scent. Maybe I'd have
it would be hard for me to also be Nordic, I think.
Yeah. I guess it is much easier to go from thin to fat. It's kind of hard to just. I guess I could be even fatter. I guess I could be.
You could throw a corset on.
Ooh, corset,
Yeah.
some shapewear.
Yeah,
I could be in the Jiminy Glick outfit.
Yeah.
Just come up. What do you do?
Jiminy Click's awesome.
If I might cut you striking gay gentlemen off for a second, I wanted to let you know about something called sports gambling. That's right. Maybe we have more gay men than usual watching the episode due to Matteo and Nick. How big is sports gambling in the homosexual community? Because it should be bigger. And there's no better time to start or better place to start than right now during the playoffs with DraftKings. That's right. Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs? You bet we are, folks. Get in on the action, whether you're gay, straight, pan, whatever you want to smash. You can put down some hard-earned money and make some wagers in the playoffs. DraftKings don't discriminate when it comes to dollar. Hey, whatever the color of your pride flag is, whatever the stripe is, as long as that green's coming in from the account, they don't give a fuck, baby. Scoring touchdowns is the key to winning in the playoffs, and you can score big by betting on them at DraftKings, the number one place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like a player to score 6. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. New DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Who knows, maybe by the time the Tonys come around, you can bet on musicals and whoever was going to win them or whatever the fuck. But that's not what we're talking about now. We're talking about playoff football. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code Stavvy. That's code Stavvy for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets. Instantly, when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
I went to the Knicks game last night with Sam Morrell.
How was it?
It was awesome. Well, I mean, it was awesome. First of all, I was in love with it because I was sitting courtside with Sam Morrell, looking at Anne Hathaway and Michael J. Fox, and then Sam was like, dude, we can watch games anytime. You can come upstairs. This is a courtside thing. I like the food, the steak, the celebrities. But it was a really good game, and I think Hart, what's his name? Hart on the Knicks?
Yep.
Is hot.
Did you know what was happening?
Yeah, I know what the hell's I know basketball. I used to go
act
I
like that
do.
wasn't
It's
a
kinda
crazy
easy.
question.
I do. Basketball's
it's
much
pretty easy to follow.
Yeah.
Ball in the hoop. You know what I mean?
Okay, but like,
Do you know what's going on with basketball?
I used to play as a child.
Oh, really?
As a wee boy.
Yeah.
I'm 6'3". Of course I did.
Well,
That's
you played
awesome.
volleyball. What did you play?
I did play volleyball and soccer and baseball
Where
and
you
track.
Wow.
What a
A
faggot.
multi-sport athlete. Where'd you grow up?
Right outside Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Oh, working class.
What's the name of the town?
The name of the town is New Milford.
And how many people live there?
750.
And who's the mayor?
My father.
Well, I didn't know we were talking to New Milford royalty.
Yes, I am the second. I'm the spare heir.
Oh, yeah. You were the second.
I was like Waiting for Guffman. You've seen Waiting for Guffman?
It's been a long time.
The town is like a small town,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like Blaine, this guy named Blaine discovered the town, so they interviewed this woman. She's like, being a Blaine hasn't been easy. I can certainly relate to how the Kennedys feel.
What are the mayoral duties of New Milford?
Making sure that meth isn't on the street.
Honestly, not even that. He doesn't have to really do anything.
He's still the mayor.
He's still that. It's funny. I called my mom the other day because there was.
So how many? I'm just. So when you were a boy, was he the mayor of New Milford?
No. So he's been mayor right when I graduated high school.
Gotcha.
So it's been maybe almost 15 years now.
Wow.
And I forget that he's mayor all the time. And I called my mom the other day because there was a pretty major election recently. In case anyone didn't know.
Yeah.
And I
Hence
called.
Did it affect the local New Milford race?
Yeah,
Did it go that far down ballot?
Was really tight. But I called my mom.
Who did he endorse?
A lot of signs. They were waiting for his endorsement.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why we lost Pennsylvania.
Yeah. If only all 750 New Milford residents had voted.
In hindsight. But I called my mom and I was like, oh, is dad on the ballot? And she goes, oh, I don't think so, actually. And I said, well, when is he up for election? She goes, to be quite honest, I don't know. I actually forgot he was the mayor. I was like, you're the first lady of New Milford.
Show some Show some respect for the office.
We did one time. Me, Bob, and Nick were like, we look up like aerial views of where we grew up. So Bob grew up in Atlanta. I grew up in Chicago. So of course there's like these
drone
footage
of,
of the cities and stuff. So then we looked up and they have one of Nick's. They didn't like put music with it, so you just hear the drone like, and it's going up a tree that it's just like a shitty church with like a shitty main street,
the meth house.
Yeah,
next
hell
to
yeah.
The priest's house.
Did you guys have like stoplights in the town? Or
We don't have it. It's 1 mile long.
The whole town, 1 mile.
There's not a single stoplight. There's one intersection that there could be. They can't afford it. There are a couple bridges. One is out. They can't afford to fix it.
So it's all it's just a stop sign at the intersection, or is it kind
There are stop signs.
of? Okay, that's cool. Well, that you can build off that.
Yeah.
You can go from stop sign to street light.
A lot of bars.
Okay.
A lot of garages for cars and a lot of churches.
Interesting.
It's 1 mile long and there are 6 churches.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was the school there, or did you have to go to a neighboring town to go
The
to school?
school's like up on the hill. It was maybe like a 6-minute drive. But
This is why his education didn't happen and why we got into a fight with Lizzo publicly when Nick.
You beefed with Lizzo?
We did.
we did. And we're not even one of her backup dancers. Actually, I brought her out of her silence on that.
Wow,
Nick did.
That's
oh,
power.
wow, that is huge.
Power.
Really did.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
So what happened is
We were doing
did she
it-
steal making people eat bananas out of each other's asses
Well,
from
so that
you,
was
We
one
Wilfred?
of
do
our
that
podcasts.
anyway. So that's hard to.
He made me eat a
I
banana.
did. That's sort of a. No, we were talking about Disney movies. Anyway, so
World
I
War
said
II.
yes, but
I didn't know when World War II was.
And I said,
Oh,
okay, I'll
really?
give you a clue. We entered the war when The Wizard of Oz came out. I said, do you know when World War II was? He goes, the 1800s. I go, you think in the 1800s we had cameras and planes? I said, well, wait. And I said, 1939. He goes, you mean to tell me that the worlds went to war and our response was The Wizard of Oz? Which is a funny response. So Lizzo hadn't talked publicly for months since her incident.
Silence.
in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Silence. All of a sudden on her TikTok, everyone's messaging us. Our video comes up, and then she comments doing her makeup like, I hope these two are joking because this is sad about the American education system.
Wait, really?
Yes, and-
Just completely unprovoked.
Completely
Unprovoked, she
unprovoked.
posts a 3-minute TikTok response calling me the failure of the American education system, which in
Why
her
the fuck would
defense,
Lizzo weigh in on that?
she's not. Why would she weigh in? You are right. She's not wrong.
Yeah.
She's not wrong. I am a failure of the American education
Yeah.
system, but that's what broke your silence.
And then, but the
Some
comments-
PR person was like, look, white gay guys, you're safe. They're white, so fucking weird. So people are going to be against them. They're gay, so homophobes are going to be against them. That's the sweet spot. I maybe would have targeted masked white lesbians if I were you to be a little safer, but go ahead. Yeah, this video really speaks to you. Go off, Lizzo.
But the comments were great because they were one going after Lizzo and Nick at the same time. They're like, Nick may be a fucking moron, Lizzo. Don't you have allegations for sexual misconduct?
In Nick's defense, he knows nothing. Those are our fans.
But then a week later, she put a giant post on her Instagram. She's like, that's it. I'm quitting Instagram.
Hilarious.
And then people were
the
thanking
amount of
Nick.
DMs I go, you did it. You did it.
That is actually so powerful. The fact that out of nowhere, first of all, that she would see the video is
I know.
interesting.
I know.
It's like, how the fuck? We're friends and I don't remember that video. Like, your stuff pops up on my timeline, but it's like...
Right, she went onto her TikTok.
Yeah.
And somehow that was on her For You page.
And it pissed her off so much, she didn't just, like, send it to a friend and say, look at this fucking dummy. She
made a 3-minute response.
That was her first post. For months, that's awesome.
I
Has
know.
still
You have no
mentioned.
history with Lizzo whatsoever.
We don't know her.
We do not. We have not
don't
met
know
her.
Wow.
I like her music.
Wow.
I don't like her music anymore.
Have you-
not
let-
after that.
One time she made me eat a banana, but other than that,
Let me ask you this,
nothing.
Nick. Have you ever drawn the ire of plus size black women before? Is it something about you? Because I have friends that certain people just, for whatever reason, certain people don't like them. Has that ever been an issue?
Most people don't like me. In my defense.
I was gonna say, Stavros, I'm gonna stop you there. You can't get too philosophical about this. No one likes
Name a
Nick.
demographic. They don't like me.
Almost every single week, there's more mob mentality coming after us. How much they hate Nick. He's an idiot. He knows nothing. We've pissed off everybody.
Interesting.
And I thought, okay, I'll do a short little 15-minute podcast. with My friend, it'll be fun. We've got good chemistry, and then in a few weeks, we're in a fight with everybody.
That's awesome.
Everyone.
Well,
Every week.
how about we backtrack and kind of see how this was created? Because I'm fascinated. A couple data points here. First, being growing up in Scranton or outside of Scranton, whatever, in a small ass town. That's very interesting. And then where we started, where you said you were a gay orphan, you had no gay friends.
Yeah.
Let's kind of like, how do we get there? Who was the gayest person you knew growing up, other than
Besides your
yourself?
outfit.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, all these years later, I went to school with the same 90 kids from preschool to 12th grade.
Wow. That's tough. That sucks no matter who you are.
That's tough. I was class.
Because you can't you're kind of stuck into the dynamics of preschool.
Everyone knows everyone.
Whatever you did, if you fucking shit your pants as a little kid, that would follow you until you were 18.
And did.
Yeah.
But we all hated each other by the end of it. I was class president, and I gave a speech at graduation.
Politics runs in the family.
Politics runs. We're the Kennedys.
Yeah, you're the Kennedys of New Milford.
Just haven't been killed yet.
Yeah.
But this is not an exaggeration. Verbatim at my class speech at graduation, I literally go, well, we made it. We don't like each other. Probably won't keep in touch after this. But we did it. And the local newspaper literally printed a headline, class divided. Graduates united. And it's true. We still don't talk. We've never had a class reunion. Partly because I'm responsible for putting that together, and I'm certainly not doing that shit. Yeah. But in hindsight, what I was going to say, 90 people, there are 10 gays now from there. Yeah. Popping out faggots left and right in New Milford, Pennsylvania.
I feel like my graduating class was like 700, and it was like me and one other person. Like there were like no gays.
Yeah, a lot of gays from my class.
And was everybody closeted the whole time?
Everyone was closeted, except there were maybe like a couple that were out back then. Not treated well, as you could probably imagine.
Yeah,
but Nick had a girlfriend.
I did have a girlfriend in high school. She was the only one that cried when I came out. But we met doing musicals, and I was practicing the softball pitch in my backyard. So who's the idiot there?
Yeah, I mean that's
on her.
That's on her. I absolutely. That's a tale as old as time, though. Is the earnest straight girl who doesn't understand that what she's attracted to.
Theater girls.
Yeah, the theater girl who doesn't understand that pizzazz that she's attracted to is not a straight quality.
They were both auditioning for Alphaba, and she's like, this is my man.
We did a drag number of Grease, and I played Olivia Newton-John. But now there's nowhere to hide.
That's awesome.
Devastated.
Just seeing you with a cherry red lip, being like, "Ooh, when I get my hands on him, I'm going to have straight intercourse with that man."
Oh yeah,
yeah. Nick's life.
That's you never had a girlfriend.
He did have a girlfriend.
Yeah, we talked about this. Yeah. Yes, at the
Francesca.
Yes, but that was your Michael's another sign. If it's a musical or an arts and crafts store where you met your high school boyfriend, gals, we got news for you. He's probably gay.
Failure.
Yeah.
Oh, my aunt Cindy, by the way, loved the clip about the Maleficent doll.
Yes.
She loved it. That clip really took off.
It really did. It
really took off. So.
It was awesome. That was one of my favorite moments of the podcast.
And she was like, I just didn't know. She goes, I just thought he wanted like
on
a
some level she knew.
She knew.
Yeah,
Would you say when you're buying your nephew some horned bitch?
Yeah. A crystal bitchy woman.
Yeah.
A little boy.
That was the other thing is so my ex-girlfriend, I don't even know why I'm calling her ex-girlfriend. We were children. She cried. But similar to Matteo's family, your aunt being like, we should have known. When I came out, I only came out to my mother and my grandmother, and both had the exact same response. It was after I had moved to New York, after my freshman year of college. I told them both, and they both go, well, everyone talks about it. But no one was going to say it before you did.
That's fucking awesome.
You couldn't give a context clue to me at least?
Fucking
I would have come
awesome.
out years ago.
Yeah. That is so funny.
We all talk about it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, my brother's trying to have kids, and he's talking about how he just wants the gayest son of all time. My little brother's like, that would be
it's a lot of
sick.
crying.
Yeah, well, could be fun.
Yeah.
But in a Greek family, gays, please.
Sure, but
that's
the
fine.
real classic. Greek gay is like you really enjoy the secret gay sex you have. That's sort of the more Greek style.
You mean shame?
Huh? No,
Living within
there's
shame?
very little shame. Greek guys are like,
I was going to say, they invented gay sex.
Greek guys are
What
like,
you talking about?
I fucked the guy. I'm not gay. That's sort of like
that
Greek
comes from
logic.
ancient Greece.
Yeah, that's Greek. That's ancient Greek philosophy. It's like,
they didn't let that one go.
No.
Let's keep this.
It's like that meme that goes around where they were saying the strongest soldiers were the ones that swallowed the most loads. Our strongest
Holy
soldier
shit!
over
I didn't
there.
know we got a 5-star general on the couch. Play taps, Eldest. Da-da-da.
I really make my parents proud. I know they did say that. They were like, oh, because they thought that they were like passing down knowledge. I was like, first of all, no one's ever received knowledge from a top. Let's get that out of the way.
Interesting, yes.
This time of year, every cat is an indoor cat. And when it's freezing outside, I'm an indoor human. If there's one thing that can really stink up being stuck inside, it's the freaking litter box. Don't let that nasty smell ruin your winter wonderland. Switch to Pretty Litter like we did here at Stavvy's World. Pretty Litter's non-clumping formula traps odor and moisture. It's ultra-absorbent, it's lightweight, low dust, and one 6-pound bag works for up to a month. Wow. And Pretty Litter gives me peace of mind. It changes color to indicate early signs of potential illnesses in the many cats in my life, like Eldest's cat. Isn't that right, Eldest? He's shaking his head just off screen, but he is here and he does agree. Isn't that right, my brothers Nick and George? They're also off screen shaking their head, agreeing or whatever the fuck. Indoor cats and indoor humans agree. Pretty Litter helps my house smell fresh and clean. Go to prettylitter.com/Stavvy to save 20% on your first order and get a free cat toy. That's prettylitter.com/Stavvy to save 20% on your first order and get a free cat toy. prettylitter.com/Stavvy. Terms and conditions apply. See site for details.
It's funny how much like ancient shit you hear about where it's like one gay guy was in charge. And that's how it was like, yeah, you actually get strength from sucking my dick. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just so clear when you go back. The same way like every religion has a little hat. It's because the guys in charge all had bald spots. There's no way God
should have had his doctor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have mattered. They would have shaved it anyways.
That's
apparently.
true. They would have taken a little.
I think it looks good.
It does look good,
Is
buddy.
Julius Caesar Greek?
No,
No,
he's
Roman.
Italian.
What?
He's Roman.
He's Roman.
Ancient Rome. Oh, see, here we go.
Huh.
I like this, yeah. They stole our whole shit, Nick. That's not your fault.
We did.
The
That
That is
Romans,
not my fault.
Yeah.
Lizzo, that's not my fault.
I will say where Julius was stabbed in Rome is now, they have it. You can still like see it. It's just there, but it's now become a cat sanctuary. So when you walk by, like, well, that's Caesar. He was killed there, but then there's just like a bunch of cats running around.
Well, my birthday is the Ides of March, which has something to do with Caesar, right?
That's
Everyone
when he
always
got
says
killed,
that.
I believe.
Oh,
Beware
yeah.
the
Maybe
beware
I
the
became
Ides of March.
reincarnated.
Yeah, that's
true.
it.
He
That's
did
where
love
it is.
purple. He was big on
He
purple.
did. He was a big supporter of Grimace.
And I believe he was. I feel like all those Roman guys, a lot of them were kind of, if
Gay.
not gay, bi. He had a wife,
Everyone
but he
was gay back then.
Yeah.
Well, they had different rules. I just watched like a whole history. I love that. You ever see Weird History on YouTube?
Yeah, sometimes
they go with
it'll pop up.
Yeah, and so they were talking about like what it's like to be gay, like in the Greek times and Roman times and stuff. I mean, there was kind of rules to it. It wasn't it wasn't the way we view gay today.
Yeah.
There was still like, it was not looked down upon, but it was like it was still always like left with a little bit of like.
There was I really was that's the joke I made earlier was they did kind of see it as like getting fucked in the ass was like childish because they would fuck. That was like a thing you did as a boy. You and your friends would fuck each other. You would just getting molested was such a part of the fucking culture that they're like, wow. What, you grow up, you still get fucked in the ass? That's what you do when you're 15. That was literally how they looked at it. There was like
Even though they only lived to 19.
Yeah.
Like,
It was like in a play. They had like a specific name for like grown men that get fucked in the ass.
well, the
They're
Pope
like,
said it. Fragittone. Like
that-
faggotry.
That's
That's hysterical.
awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
to see it.
And he said it twice. And by the way, everyone in Italy was laughing about it. Like,
Yeah.
everyone was like, ah.
because he put a little. He put a little stank on it.
Yeah, because it wasn't frocio means faggot, right? And frocino is like little faggot. He said froce. Can you look it up? I think it's
Oh,
frocia.
man.
Like
It's
little
a-
faggot boy.
Eldest-
No, it means it literally means
in his.
faggotry.
It's in his already. Like it pops up. It auto
Pope
comes.
faggotry
Eldest has like in his bookmarks way to say.
in Italian.
Way to
Yeah,
call
click on the
people
first
gay.
one. Let's see what he said. Yes,
I
it's
believe-
faggotry. Yeah.
No, we covered this on Kush Brothers, Eldest.
Yeah, frocine.
Frocigine.
Frocio and frocino. Frocino is so funny.
Frocagine.
To put a little cute suffix on a slur is so fucking
little
funny.
faggot.
Yeah.
Just a wee little faggot.
But not wrong. In the Vatican, there is a lot
He's
of era
wearing a
faggotry.
fucking ball gown. There are times when you walk through Rome and I'll like the corner of my eye, I see a store. I'm like Drag Race, and then it's like a Pope place, like a cardinal place to buy dresses for themselves.
They're wearing bejeweled crucifixes.
Yeah. No, it's gay.
I mean, who
with
do
the
they think they
fucking
are?
smoke.
Madonna?
It's like a Lady Gaga concert. Get
They
outta
are setting
here.
the mood. It's absolutely gay as hell. For
Wait, I have to
sure.
pee so bad. You guys,
Are you
go ahead.
kidding me?
all the time.
You
Can
can
you
go
be
ahead.
professional?
This guy.
Do you see why we can only do 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Were you the only child of the?
No, I have an older brother, but people say I give only child energy. He's 4 years older, though.
Okay.
I forget that I have a brother sometimes.
That's yeah.
I'm just kidding. He probably watches this. I've had a podcast with Matteo for a year now. Not a single word from this man. And we couldn't be more opposite. He's
Interesting.
straight, bald, kind of chubby, lives on a farm, wife, 2 kids.
Sounds like our kind of guy.
Sure.
He might be listening for real.
I was going to say,
yeah.
I've had a podcast for a year, never mentioned it. We go on Andrew Santino's podcast. You are on Andrew Santino's podcast. Yes, and your brother has a podcast, Jordan. How about you listen to that every once in a while?
Santino's podcast. Suddenly,
Yeah.
Nick was, you did Andrew Santino's podcast? Yeah.
I love that though. And so you left. You came here to study what? Theater?
Opera.
Oh, is that interesting?
Which he has a really beautiful operatic. I know he sounds like Squidward, but he has like a really beautiful
Yeah.
baritone bass.
I think we need to backtrack a little. Why did you think I came to study theater?
Because
Because why?
Because of the Olivia Newton-John
Because why?
anecdote from earlier. Yeah. Because of that.
Because I'm Greek.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why.
There's a video of Nick singing opera on YouTube we can look up, and
Wow.
it's really
We
good.
don't need to look that
Yes,
up.
you do. Go to YouTube and
What-
type Nick Smith opera.
I was 19 in it. We
And
don't
he
need to look
sounds
it up.
amazing.
Ooh, what opera seems like so impossible to have. Like stand up is stupid and hard to make a career in. But I have a friend who she's an opera singer, and it seems so impossible to just
It is.
even
That's
if you're
why
good.
I will
that's
say
why-
we're very spoiled because one of our good friends is Nadine Sierra, who is the top soprano at the Metropolitan Opera.
Whoa, that's
and
sick.
like she, first of all, she sang with me at Carnegie Hall. At the end, we came
That's
out and sang
awesome.
together.
Oh, I saw that,
She's
yeah.
also just cool
And
Yeah.
beautiful.
and stunning. Yeah, and her voice is amazing. But then now Nick and I are so spoiled. She's like, oh, do you want to come to see Rigoletto at the opera? Oh, do you guys want to come see me and Bocelli sing? And we're like, yes, we'll be
That's
there.
awesome.
So it's
That's your court side.
that is my that's
That
what I
is?
was saying.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
my court side.
Actually,
it was like,
one time we sat, she got us tickets to see her in Lucia.
yeah.
And we were sitting front row at the Metropolitan
These are
Opera.
like $1,000.
Yeah.
and I'm in one of my best blouses.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll have
yeah,
you all
yeah,
know. I'm
yeah,
in one
yeah.
of my
Let's
best
just
blouses.
say
I love
blouse.
it. Yeah.
And we go sit down, and this decrepit goblin of a woman is sitting next to me wearing the same blouse, just a nicer version. And I turn to her and I say, I love your blouse. And do you know what she does? Not a goddamn thing.
She completely cold shoulders you.
Can you
Doesn't
believe
even
that?
look at you.
No, she did this. She goes like this. She goes, thank you. And then Nick turns to me and goes, dumb cunt. I go,
The nice thing to do is acknowledge,
Of course.
oh, I like your blouse as well. Doesn't say
That's
it. I
a-
don't care mine's from ASOS.
Sure.
It's the same fucking
Same
I
blouse.
tell you, she was wearing $3,000 worth of jewelry on her neck and looked at you like, what is this?
Doesn't matter. And guess what? I looked better in it.
Yeah, there you
Anyways,
go.
Nadine is phenomenal. So if you want to
Well,
look her
that
up,
old rich lady could probably smell rayon. You know what I mean? It was like she could
got a
tell.
rash
She
halfway
got a rash
through.
just sitting near you,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
no, but you're right. That is our court side. Like, you know, when you become friends with people who
Yeah.
are in New York, you're like, you know, then you have access to things that are like, you know.
Yeah, I was.
Well, we were courtside at a fashion show.
Oh, that's right. We were.
Where
We
did
went
you
to
go?
So we were in Jason Wu, who styled me for my special, which was an
hell
amazing
yeah.
experience.
Hell yeah.
He had us front row at his
That's awesome.
fashion show for Fashion Week, and he dressed us up, and that was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And
he dressed
He
you
dressed
up.
me because when he met Nick, they're like, the photographer's like, do you want to take photos with Jason? I'm like, sure. And then Jason goes, who are you? You're too tall. I didn't dress you.
Yeah.
Too tall. I feel like they'd be licking their lips to get a tall.
Well, it's because I'm
a
skinny,
statuesque
but I am
beauty.
too tall.
Come on.
He's
I am.
6'4".
But it was a surreal experience because we've both lived in New York for many years.
Hold on, I'm gonna go to bat for you here, Nick.
Okay.
Isn't that model dimensions? Tall and skinny as shit?
Yes, but not this tall. They
Gotcha.
want you around like 5'11", 6 feet.
Oh, that's
because they
it?
want everyone the same height.
I see.
So I'm 6'3", so they can't have just some fucking Frankenstein.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, one time we never go out, but one time our friend Patty's like, we're going to a club. It's my birthday. We're going. So we went. He dressed like Maggie Smith. I dressed like a deli worker, and we're on like the dance floor, and everyone's head is around here. Nick's up there, and then some guy taller than Nick walks by. I see Nick do that. I go, Nick, what's up? He go, who the fuck let Frankenstein in here?
It's alarming when you're used to looking down at people,
right,
and then physically looking down at people.
Yeah. Thank you.
Of course. Yeah.
And then someone else walks in that you have to look up at. It's alarming.
Is there a kinship of everyone being above the heads?
Maybe
you and the other
amongst
tall
them,
guys?
not for me.
Eldest, did you ever?
How old are you? Or tall are you?
I'm like 6'5".
Wow.
No, I was 6'4" yesterday. You're peacocking.
I was 6'5"
for our
yesterday.
fashionable gay friends.
What's the truth? There will be gays watching, and they want to know.
I've been on the record on past episodes saying I'm 6'6".
You said 6'3".
I'm playing it in the center right now.
You're 6'4" and a half.
No, I'm 6'5".
Do you see the same tall guys in similar places? Like when you worked at like a shitty office, or if you took the same train constantly, or some shit like that, would you see other tall guys above the fray?
Yeah.
Or would you
Really?
make eye contact? Like, would you acknowledge each other for your height? Like, you
Or would
see
it
the
freak you
struggle.
out?
Not eye contact. I've talked about it before where like I don't really notice it because most of the time most people are like so much shorter than you. Like
Right.
you never notice that you're looking down. But then I've talked about when we hang out with like JP McDade, who's like an inch taller than
he's
me.
really tall.
And then I do get like a little tribal. I'm like, I don't like this feeling of like having to look up like 5 degrees to like
feels
to see
weird.
up an inch. Yeah.
It feels weird.
And I see how it like feels weird for everyone else, but it's just something that like I'm never used to doing in like
Yeah.
conversation.
Meanwhile, me and Stavvy, these Mediterranean.
Well,
we've reached the height of
I've
our
also
people.
spoke about this where I hilariously think I'm so much taller than I am.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'7".
5'9".
And so I
Seven's a good height.
In thank you so much, Nick. In my head, Eldest is literally 3 inches taller than me. Like in my head, and then I have a friend who's 6 foot, and this guy is the most even-keeled guy of all time. But I said pretty much fuck with him. I was like, we're pretty much the same height. It's the joke I do on my special. He's literally the most mild-mannered guy. I was like, yeah, dude, we're pretty much the same height. He got so pissed off because I was like, yeah, I just see us as similar heights. And he was like, I tower over you. He was like, I know exactly what the fucking top of your head looks like. How dare you say I'm the fucking same height?
I will say, you know who I met the other night was, do you know QCP? He's the shirtless guy in the apron who cooks. He's real broy.
Oh, yeah.
And so I did this event for the Pasta Queen and him.
I have seen his videos.
No, Nick knows nothing.
Yeah,
all right?
yeah.
So anyway, he was really, really, really nice. And when he met me, I think people think I'm really short because when I met him, he said right off the bat, he goes, "You're taller than I thought you would be."
Really?
And I was like, really? He goes, "Yeah, you just like read really short." Then I realize I'm next to this monster. And so everyone thinks I'm 2 feet tall.
But
Interesting.
you are short.
I'm 5'9". That's the
Before-
average height of a man.
No, it's not.
What's the average height of a man?
It's
Yeah,
probably
according to who?
According
yeah. I
to
would
not
say it's
you,
probably
Nick,
5'7".
I would say 5'11".
5 feet
5'9".
9 inches from the Centers of
What?
Disease Control
And that's
and
probably
Prevention.
America, right?
Okay,
or is that
that
worldwide?
study was run by short men.
Oh, hold on. Worldwide, 5.75.
Okay, well, we're
which is probably what I am.
So
Honestly.
that makes sense, right?
Yeah, I'm
You're
right.
more worldly.
I am more worldly. I'm an international.
You're the
average.
global
I-
everyman.
I'm the global average man, exactly. I'm the amalgam of every man on earth. If you get me,
would I be tall in Greece? Do they have tall
for
people there?
for sure, you'd be tall. Yeah. We don't got him that tall.
Well, also, Nick, you would be tall, but also they wouldn't look at you for your height. They'd be wondering, why is that man wearing a giant sun hat?
I have to protect my skin.
You do have very
Greece.
fair skin.
He keeps saying, he's like, I'll come to Italy. I'll have a good time.
I
was
will.
like, I just can't imagine what the Italians, because it'll be very similar to the Greeks. Like, what is this thing walking
They wear
around?
sun hats there, don't they?
I don't, not really, no.
What? What do they do?
They take in the sun.
Yeah, taking the sun, maybe
No.
a cap. I've seen. We're not talking. I'm guessing, Nick. We're talking we're not talking like a straw crocodile Dundee style hat. I'm guessing it's Kentucky Derby, heiress at a Kentucky Derby hat.
Type in My Fair Lady racehorse scene.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
This picture, but this is even more dramatic. This is what Nick looks like. This is Nick walking around Italy. Is gonna be fucking that
awesome. That's awesome. That's great.
So this is Nick for everybody at home.
That's fucking sick.
That I could wear that in Greece.
I think you.
What would the Greeks? How do you say faggot in Greece? Greek.
We don't have to say
that. We said it. Say it.
I guess. Do you bleep out in other languages? But it's pusti.
Pusti?
Yeah,
it sounds way too close to pussy. They gotta work on this word. Or they gotta fix or pussy. That makes sense.
Pussy. Muni is pussy in Greek.
Muni.
Yeah.
Agapi muni. Agapao muni. I don't know how to do the conjugation.
That's okay.
Look at me, Greek.
Yep.
I got to bring my friend Sophia on this show one time. She's from Chicago. So Greek, and her mother. You would find they were It was being immersed into the Greek world with that family. They were amazing. I love it. Her mother Daphne. I told you what she would say during the Greek coffee, right?
Oh, they would read your.
She'd read my fortune, and she'd be like, "I can see a letter in the bottom of your cup. This me." And then she would read her daughter's. She goes, "This says that you're a bitch." Oh my god, I love the Greeks.
I do love how much old witchcraft shit is left in so many cultures.
Sicily, Greece, Mexico.
Yeah. Even the evil eye,
New
all
Milford.
that stuff.
New Milford. Okay.
New Milford, a lot of witchy stuff going on over there.
How else do you think my dad's the mayor?
Yeah.
A lot of witchcraft.
That's so fucking funny. And so, what is the, after you get out of New Milford and you're here, you're bouncing around, you come to school for opera, what are the early years? What's early NYC for Nick looking like?
I mean, I was in college for 6 years here, so I always say when you come to New York as a college student, it's a much different experience than just moving here already as a young adult.
Sure.
So it was a much easier transition.
I get that.
And then,
were you like a nerd? Were you just studying? Were you just
mean?
Were you out and about?
Yeah, I've always just sort of been mean. I've never been out and about. I've never been one of those girlies.
Not a gal about town?
I'm not a gal about town. We prefer to be homebodies.
Playing Fortnite, watching YouTube.
Yeah.
We're really boring.
I've never drank in my life. So
never. No drugs?
No drugs.
Wow, a complete teetotaler.
Yeah. I'm a fucking loser.
Teetotaler.
I never heard that before.
Yeah, that means sober.
That means loser.
Yeah.
It means loser.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. I'm teetotaling right now. I got a year of sobriety where...
Good for you.
I'm doing my 35th year of life totally sober.
Wow.
How does it feel?
Not good. I'm fucking miss doing drugs. I mean, it's like I'm not... It's just, I have to remind myself I would feel worse. That's the thing. I don't feel good. I just would feel worse.
You feel good for that moment, and then the next day is a struggle, and you're always trying to catch up.
Guess.
Have you found something to replace that?
Not really. I was living pretty healthy for half the year. I wasn't working, and I was working out and eating the right, and I really liked that. But unfortunately, I go right to food. I'm trying to stay healthy. So when I get more stressed, which I've been a little stressed, the last month has been pretty busy. I go right to, stupid seamless orders or whatever.
What's your go-to comfort meal?
Ooh, there's the thing. Well, I have to have dessert at night like a baby needs its binky right now.
I do too, by the way.
If I don't have a pint of, and now I'm eating Halo Top these days.
No, that's all air.
Are you kidding?
That's not a dessert.
It's either that or fucking 4,000 calories of Ben and Jerry's.
The ice cream.
I can't do that right now, Nick. Believe me, I need to be on methadone. I need to be on ice cream methadone right now. That's what Halo Top is. But it's more the ritual of that. But it just something will hit. I go through a rotation of comfort meals. You know what I mean? It'll be a Chinese fried chicken wings with beef lo mein is a go-to. I love Korean food. In fact, I haven't been eating Korean food because the last few years we've been doing Korean barbecue Thanksgiving, and so it's in a couple weeks. I'm gonna really enjoy it because I haven't had it. But it just really. The absolute median meal is when I eat a lot of Chipotle. is when I'm trying to hang on.
He eats it every day.
Yeah, well,
I eat it every day.
it's good. It's that's exactly what it is. It's the absolute
all the food groups.
median replacement
It's
meal.
a good amount.
And you
It's
can do it
affordable.
healthy, or you get chips. You get what you know what I mean. Like, so I'm there a lot right now. In fact, Chipotle for lunch. Chipotle after this podcast.
That's what I'm
Elvis?
getting.
Interesting.
Very
Do
interesting.
you get Dunkin' in the morning?
It depends. I've been shooting on. We're shooting tires. The second season of Tires right now, and there's a Dunkin' right by where we film. So I have been getting a lot of. We're living very similar lives right now.
We're the same.
Yeah, we're pretty much the same guy.
We're the same.
I think two people would look at
Just
us.
a couple of Greek faggies on their Dunkin'
Couple of
and
Greek
Chipotle.
homos sucking on Dunkin'.
Yep. People would probably think we're brothers, or at least twins.
Yeah, yo, that'd be a fun reboot of Twins. It's just a tall gay guy instead of Arnold. Still the over the top fat weirdo.
There you go.
And
Anybody watching, cast us. We'll do it.
I don't know that Nick carries the same charisma as the 90s Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You don't think he's got the same star power?
I don't know that he
I don't think
who went
Arnold
from
broke
Mr.
Lizzo's
Olympia.
Arnold didn't. That's your
Yeah.
claim to fame, is you broke Lizzo's silence.
That takes some charisma, baby.
You definitely did bait Lizzo into something. I love that.
I've still never seen Twins.
Great movie.
Is it? I do love Danny DeVito.
It's so good.
It's just so 90s. Everything about it.
I
is so-
legitimately do want to. I have a couple. I really want to pitch remaking it.
We could do it.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be a tall Jack guy. Unfortunately,
Yeah, it's
Mateo.
got to be me.
Yeah,
We talked about it
with
already.
this, do not.
I'd kill.
I would love to. Because if you watch it, because I hadn't seen it, I saw it as a kid, and then I rewatched it, and I really would do a good job with that character. He's a complete dirtbag piece of shit. He's got like the little ponytail. He's like again. He's just it's great. I would love to play that.
I just rewatched it. I mean, Devito and that literally is Stav. It's kind of crazy.
It's
like,
like-
I can't unsee it or something.
On some level, I'm like, did that penetrate my brain as a boy and I formed my entire personality off of it? Because I used to watch that movie a lot. I had a phase when I was a little kid where I watched Twins and what's the one where Arnold's pregnant and DeVito's in it too?
What was that called? Not Baby. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Twins, and then
Type in Arnold.
and he eats a lot of Rocky Road.
Pregnant.
Junior.
Junior.
Yes.
Yeah,
I used to
Junior.
watch those two movies back, and I think when I was a dumb little kid, I thought they were the same movie,
But
and I just watched them a bunch.
You know what? They kind of are the same movie.
Junior's
Emma
way
Thompson,
weirder.
isn't it? Wow.
Junior's way weirder.
Look at this. The 90s.
Oh my
the
God.
90s were such a particular time in movies.
Well, the idea
weren't they?
the idea for Twins is that they made some bangers, but the idea for Twins was that like essentially they mixed up a bunch of guys' jizz and made the perfect kid, and it was Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then the runoff was Danny DeVito. Like all the shitty stuff they didn't use was right there.
Oh yeah, the ending is so fucking weird.
Yeah,
with that.
it's
like,
a bizarre movie. Go watch. We don't want not to spoil too. Go watch it.
I've
We'll talk
seen it,
about
but I don't remember. It's been so long.
It's good.
I don't remember like
But yeah, he looks. I legit am gonna try and remake
39% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't
People are
I haven't
dumb.
rewatched Junior. I'll tell you that much.
I mean, Arnold was just taking every check possible. I mean, when he was Mr. Freeze,
that was
at
the
that
that was.
point-
So good. But with Uma Thurman.
well,
it's
she
like-
was amazing.
Well, that might be the gayest movie ever made.
it is. It is.
Yeah,
I
it's
will
incredible.
say-
it's a great rewatch now.
I think. Do you watch Red
100%.
Letter Media ever? The
No.
podcast Red Letter Media. They're on YouTube. They're great. These three guys are from Milwaukee, and they just talk about
I love
movies.
that. Big
They're-
Milwaukee fan over
and they've
here.
got great sense of humor. They're very funny. Anyway, they were talking about that movie, and they made a great point. They were like, Uma Thurman was the only one who understood the assignment in this movie.
True.
Everybody else there was no reason. Like George Clooney and Arnold Schwartz, none of them knew what they were doing. But Uma got
Uma
it.
really knew what she was doing. I still think it works, even though they didn't know what they were doing, because there's just Clooney isn't hamming it up, but that earnestness is almost good.
Yeah.
For the movie, like Batman kind of being, it is. He feels.
It didn't. There was too much happening. First of all, Alfred was dying.
That was
one of the stories. Then
there's 5 storylines.
Right.
Alicia Silverstone.
Alicia Silverstone is
came in,
shoehorned in there.
It made no
just
sense.
in there.
Then
Has nothing to do with any of it.
Robin didn't want to be. He wanted his own independence with that.
But he also kind of wants to fuck
through.
Alicia Silverstone.
Right. Then Uma Thurman was there. Then there was Mr. Freeze trying to get his
Bane
wife
is
back.
involved.
Bane was in it.
Yeah.
There was a lot. Well,
It looks great.
It.
It looks. Yeah. I mean, he's that guy. That guy's. What did he say? I was
Joel
like
Schumacher?
Joel
Is that who
Schumacher.
made it?
Yeah. Schumacher
Yeah.
fucked like thousands of guys. He said.
He fucked thousands of guys.
I think so. Yeah.
In the movie, like career wise, or
No,
in real life?
no. Like he was just a cool guy that liked to suck and get sucked.
Wow.
Well, that makes sense because the beginning of that movie is them putting on their outfits that have nipples on the outfits,
Yeah.
and then it's just butts.
No,
that's the opening of the film.
Now, like at the time, it was. And when I was a little kid, I was pumped to see it. I didn't give a
Sure,
fuck.
I would. I loved Poison. I loved Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
So I was all about Poison Ivy.
But now it is a great watch to just throw on to have a good time because it's visually so interesting and it is straight up campy.
It's camp.
But all of those Batman films of that are like with Danny DeVito as Penguin and
That one's
But that's
good.
different because
Michelle
Tim
Pfeiffer as
Burton,
Catwoman.
Right. They
Yeah.
had the first Batman in the 80s, and it was revolutionary in
banger.
so many ways. And then they had the second Batman, which
Second
was
one's
Tim
still
Burton.
good. Still Tim
It was
Burton.
good, but it was tonally. I think it shocked audiences because they were kind of expecting something more for kids, and it was very adult.
It was darker,
very scary.
And by the way, Batman's not even. It's kind of more. It's an ensemble movie.
Sure.
Because it really is more about. I mean, I don't think Batman's even in it because I rewatched this recently. He's not really in it. Like he's in it at the very beginning, but then he's not in it again for like 20 minutes. It's kind of crazy.
which
if you
is fine.
rewatch it.
We've had enough of Batman.
Well, at the
And
time
then-
though, it was the second Batman movie.
Yes.
So
And then
it was
the,
like.
the third one. I think they were trying to go. They were trying to
Well, they-
reverse it, so it became
Well, they fired Tim Burton.
Right.
He was like, weirdly, you know who he wanted to cast as Robin?
who.
Marlon Wayans.
Honestly, that would be kind
At the
fun.
time, it would have been really interesting. But yeah, they wanted to like exactly what you're saying. The studio was like, all right, we're gonna make this a fucking cash cow. Enough with your weird dark bullshit. And then they fired him, and that was the one that I think that was the first Schumacher one,
Right.
And that was
Two-Face and the Riddler. So it had Jim Carrey,
and who and
that was-
Batman,
Val Kilmer.
Val
Val
Kilmer was
Kilmer.
Batman. Yeah,
and then it got too far with Batman and Robin. Even as like a young 7th grade gay kid, I was like, this is a lot.
Oh yeah, you didn't appreciate.
I loved the Poison Ivy scenes. I loved them.
Yeah.
Loved them.
No, I just remember being like, whatever you showed me. That was the age where it was like, cool, this is a movie, awesome.
Right.
I was never making a judgment, especially if it had
Right.
Batman in it. I was like, sick,
You're just like,
let's fucking
superheroes,
watch it.
great.
Yeah. But anyway, why don't we? I think we could talk forever, and there's so much more. We didn't really even get into the Nick origin story some other time, but
Because it's similar to a Batman villain
Can I
origin
ask a
story.
really quick, dumb question?
Absolutely.
And I don't know why this just
Here we
popped
go.
up.
Absolutely.
Do Greek people celebrate Christmas?
we do in fact celebrate Christmas. They're Greek
He
Orthodox.
doesn't know what Greek Orthodox means.
It's a sect of Christianity before it split off. It was what Catholicism split off from,
was supposed
basically.
to be, kind of, right?
We were all the
Wasn't it-
same church, and then we split off. We're the Eastern Orthodox Church. We used to have a different calendar. Now everyone's on the same calendar. Yeah, it's very confusing. Greek people,
So what is today for them?
they've adopted everything the same. They used to be on, I don't know what, if that's called the Gregorian calendar, but weirdly, culturally, Greek people used to celebrate what we think of as Christmas on New Year's Day. Like you would get presents and stuff on New Year's Day. But I think they just got beaten down by the rest of the world doing it, and especially American pop culture. Like when I was a little kid, my dad, when we were really young, he tried to do that shit. He's like, we're Greek. We do the first of the year. We were like, no, give us fucking presents. We're 5. We want presents now. And so there was no way that was going to last. He tried that. We were like, fuck, are you kidding me? I have to fucking wait 6 days? Are you out of your fucking mind? Give me my fucking Play-Doh right now, you fucking idiot. So I think it's been completely swallowed up. But yes, Greeks
See,
are.
that wasn't a dumb question.
Yeah,
Do they celebrate Christmas as different than do you have a different calendar,
He
Nick?
knew what I meant.
Look, we can make it good, Matteo. I'm a
Yeah.
professional. You feed me some dumb bullshit like, dude, Greeks celebrate Christmas. I'll turn it into 2 minutes of entertaining content. Okay.
Did you grow up with Greek? Were there any Greek people near you when you grew up? There were no Greek. You never met Greek people
in New Milford? Probably not.
Were there Italians? There was one. You said there was one Italian family that everyone hated.
But now my family,
that was the closest they had to a minority.
Extended family owns the Italian restaurant.
Wow.
That sells burgers.
Yeah. Well, it's Italian American.
You gotta go have the pasta there. You should do an episode. You should do an episode of eating the best Italian food at Nick's hometown. That would be awesome. You trying to cobble together the best pasta meal you could in fucking New Milford.
Could I go in the kitchen and show them how to actually make it?
I mean, I'm sure you could play.
If your dad's the mayor, we have carte blanche. We can do whatever the hell we want.
Please, we don't even have a police department there. You can light the shit on fire.
All right, well, listen.
Worked at Pizza Hut. It was a whole thing.
I love it. Well, look, take all these life experiences and channel them into, because we have callers that desperately need your assistance.
Oh boy, are these specifically for us?
No, no. We don't have that kind of. We don't kind of have that overhead. These people have called in, some even at this point years ago, and we'll get to them whenever the fuck we get to them. So Eldest has gotten a couple questions here for us, and why don't you play us the first one, my friend?
Hey, Stav. So 2 years ago, I got dumped by my... Hey, Stav. So 2 years ago, I got dumped by my girlfriend because she found me on Grindr talking to boys.
Okay. She kind of had a point there.
And I was going to break up with her, but I was too much of a pussy to do that. So instead I, was cheating and sending nudes to other guys. But moving on from that, 2 years later, I can't stop. I can't finish like with a woman or a guy or a trans woman or like anybody unless I think about my ex-girlfriend.
What?
And I'm tired of it. Like this woman stabbed me. Like I don't want to think about her anymore.
What?
Like I have a no contact agreement with her, even though I'm the one that cheated. Mm-hmm. So,
interesting morality here.
Yeah, should I tell my therapist about this?
Oh my God.
Should I just like try to associate it with thoughts of like my naked grandma or something? Thanks, Stav. I'd really appreciate your help on figuring out how to stop needing to like think about her to finish. Thanks. Love you guys.
Well, that's a lot to unpack.
Really a lot to unpack. From each sentence
from the
jump.
How did she find him on Grindr?
She probably had some suspicions, maybe.
Why did he not bring up that she stabbed him first?
Right.
That came in the middle.
Right.
Why wouldn't you be like, well, I was stabbed by my ex-girlfriend because she found me on Grindr. We have a no-speaking agreement.
I wonder if the stabbing is its own issue in his mind.
He is.
You know what I mean?
Stabbing evidently is the least of his issues.
Is no contact agreement just a fancy way of saying she has a restraining order against you?
I think it's sort of like, that's the thing. He says no contact agreement as if this is some widely accepted circumstance. He just means they don't text each other ever.
Right.
They've just blocked each other on everything.
Should I say this to a therapist?
I know, that was awesome.
You should have been in therapy years ago.
Yeah. Well, I get the therapist being like, we got a lot to cover. Because this guy,
He's like, I think I'm just going to go to Stav with this one.
Yeah. I can't even believe that he thought to go to Stavros publicly about this before privately with his therapist.
I think Stav and Guest can unpack this in 7 to 10 minutes.
Yeah. Stav, you have real power. You're very honorable, evidently.
Well, I also think probably what's going on here, this guy is too embarrassed to admit that a bust-related thing to his therapist. You know what I mean?
Well, that's like who you talk to your therapist for, isn't
right.
it? I mean, I thought that was like what?
I think you talk generally, but I think in terms of the minutia of coming, it's like, it's one thing to talk about sexual hangups. It's another thing to be like, what makes me come is my act. But he could have said it differently, where he's like, I can only. What the fuck? Somebody calling me.
I guess it's because like I have a gay therapist.
Oh, interesting.
So I feel more comfortable talking about that kind of stuff. Though that's not like an issue.
You should be able to talk about anything to your therapist. That's the whole point.
The whole point. No, you're absolutely right. And that is something that's a general message for everyone here to take is if you have a therapist, it doesn't make sense not to fucking talk to them about whatever. You got to open up to them about anything. Obviously, you should talk to your therapist. I mean, that's so clear. I won't hazard. I think, even though there's a lot to unpack, I think ultimately what was happening here is this guy was this is a truly pansexual person who was in a probably abusive relationship, and he definitely cheated, right? But maybe there was just a lot of wrong going on in that relationship. This is probably an insane woman, probably pretty good pussy if I had to guess. If I had stabbing plus staying in the relationship. Yeah, I do. Unfortunately,
he's on Grindr.
Yeah, I don't think it was so bad. I think this guy just fucks a lot. But I think stabbing and staying in a relationship.
Clearly, it was a not great relationship.
The relationship was good, but something was good. So I'm doing the math here, right?
I think he sounds like a masochist. I think he likes sort of that.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
So he needs to get to BDSM, like.
Maybe
stabbing is kind of real up there.
He can't come without thinking about his ex-girlfriend who stabbed him. Oh. Baby, go get a dominatrix. And
that's
spank the shit out of you.
To me, it feels like residual guilt that he's not processed yet, and he's trying to mask it with a physical pleasure. But I think what's happening is that he probably feels guilt or some kind of shame for the failure of that relationship and his play in it. And so the revisitation of seeing her in order to come is more so him trying to cope subconsciously with the fact that he left something, didn't land the plane well. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely totally plausible that he still has some kind of hangups. We don't even know. It seems like he's pretty open about his sexuality. There might be some guilt there too. He seems like
he's open to us.
But yeah,
maybe
like
not his friends.
That's what I'm saying.
Right, so he can be. If he's talking to you, I mean, his voice is pretty recognizable. I feel like it's like, come on, dude.
Well, I'm just kind of agreeing with you here, where it could be like some shame and guilt all wrapped in together, right? Like guilt from the relationship, shame. I mean, there is like oh no, even though I'm fucking this guy, I'm actually straight because the thing that makes me come is
he ancient Greek?
Yeah.
But also he says he can't come with another person. But is he coming from jerking the chicken?
Probably.
Jerking the chicken. What in the Dust Bowl era?
I'm
not going to say masturbate on here.
The things we've already said. The things we've already said.
That is a good, yeah. Is he yoking the oxen? He probably is. I feel like you could bust easier, jerking yourself off than you can.
He's probably stroking his hard dick, since that's what Matteo wants me to say, while thinking about his ex-girlfriend's bomb pussy, apparently.
It's very possible, Nick. I mean, look. There's a lot going on here. You absolutely have to talk to a therapist. We have hazarded some guesses here, but you got a lot going on, my friend. And
a lot to unpack.
I also think 2 years later is kind of crazy. 2 years is a long time. But depending on how long you were together, shit like that lingers too, especially if you're not addressing the reason. So it's not
you can
crazy.
Still see the stab wounds.
Yeah, exactly. If you still feel it,
that's how he comes. He rubs out the
scab. It's very possible. So yeah, good luck out there, little buddy. What do we got here, Eldis?
Hey, Stav. Hello, Eldis, and esteemed guests. I'm a newer listener, but I'm just calling in. I called in before, but the voice note felt too long and wordy. But anyways, I'm calling in because my boyfriend and we've been together for a year. I am 23, my boyfriend is 25, and we've had some conversations and realized that we are both interested in the possibility of a threesome with another person. Now, this is just a threesome. We're not interested in a polycule or dating this person, whoever this theoretical person would be. We just want to have fun and then sort of, go our separate ways with this other person, go on and live our lives.
I got a hunch you could get that going.
So I've never had a threesome of any kind before. Maybe the guest, if they are a queer man or just a queer person, doesn't really matter, the gender.
I'll just do a little producing for a change.
How we can best a combination
little
person,
vetting.
because I feel like the dynamics of a threesome, especially a threesome where it's like a couple and then like another person, is a very specific thing versus if it's a threesome with three strangers or, you know, three people who may not know each other that well and just want to have fun.
Oh my God, the other one
I do
was
feel like
wordy?
the onus is on, if that's the right word, is on the couple to make the third person, you know, feel comfortable, feel invited.
there more to this,
sort of
Elvis?
wine
Do we
and
get
dine
the
them, make them feel
gist?
safe. There's also like a power dynamic. I think that is there. when you
Here's what you do.
are a stranger.
You want to make your guests feel comfortable. Martha Stewart has 100 books out now. So you could find one of her books.
Get some lemonade with
get
thyme in it.
Yeah, and learn how to like guess and like make a dinner, and there's good salad
dinner?
recipes. And
You're
that's
gonna
the
fuck
joke,
this
is that-
guy?
I know, but this guy, he's like, how do I make someone comfortable in a threesome?
Yeah.
It's like,
You don't need to have a whole fucking dinner party.
joking,
to get
man.
some
I'm
dick.
kidding. I'm joking.
Have you had a threesome?
I have, yeah.
Have you?
Yes.
Same.
Yeah.
And was it good?
It was pretty good. I mean, one was horrific. You can hear it all on Live at the Lodge Room. It's the final 15 minutes of my first special on YouTube, folks. That one was bad, but I've had some nice experiences.
Was the threesome you had good?
It was years ago, but yes, it was, because he was a plastic surgeon. So afterwards, he would give me filler and Botox. I would always leave with a new face. It was fantastic. They moved, but this was years ago, but they were great.
But what I would say, that's such
I had
a
a
gay
new nose
thing.
one time, new
love
chin.
that.
Every time I came out, I had a new face.
It's such a gay thing. Gays barter sex for goods.
Yeah.
Not every
The
gay,
oldest
look,
profession.
I think we have to move past the stereotypes that gay men are transactional. Look, this is a couple. They're very
No,
sensitive.
so what
they're
I was
young.
going to say is chances are it might suck.
Yeah, that's
Threesomes are
true.
hit or miss.
That's absolutely true.
So
I've had
all
a good one, but
right.
most were
you can
weird.
have good ones,
or-
and then oftentimes it's always going to feel awkward because there's one person left out, and it's never really, especially in the gay world.
Yeah, I've had a horrific one actually.
You
years
can't
ago.
have. You don't got two holes. Okay?
You do.
Well, you do. I take that back.
This coming from the top. Has no idea what he's
what I
doing.
mean.
Yeah,
Sometimes there's always someone left out. So chances are it might be bad. It might be good.
Yes.
So you need to go in with that mindset being
Sure.
like, this might not be great. And it sounds like you need to go in fully being on the same page, because if you're already talking about threesomes, which is fine, who brought it up? And chances are, do they actually really want to be open, or are they only wanting a threesome?
Sounds
'Cause
like,
it
yeah.
can lead to more.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't
it
want to
can-
open
it can
that
confuse-
door
and
if
I think
one
you're
of them's
right.
waiting to open the door to be like,
Yes.
okay, now let's be open.
And that sounds like that's what we're seeing here, is that I think maybe, it's they're tiptoeing their way into something that they both want to experience, but they're worried about the preservation of their relationship, which happens. You know what I mean?
And they're
that
young,
can happen.
23 and 25.
That's what I kind of what I was going to say from our caller here. It seems like what he's most worried about is the third person.
Yeah.
Whether that's young.
he's a bottom.
Yeah.
He has
Whether that's
feelings.
young hubris or not, he's not so worried about his relationship, right?
Right.
So like and you said you were the third with a
I was
couple.
the third, which is always the easy.
It's always the
You
easier.
show up, they put on a show, you
hear
get
that?
Botox, you go home.
Yeah, it's easier. So don't even. Yeah, I don't know.
You shouldn't actually worry about the third person. You should worry about your partner. The third person has it easy. They show up
come
to
in.
your home.
Yep.
They do the deed. They pull the badge.
Yep.
And then they're out of there.
Yeah.
As long as you have rules and sort of understandings beforehand.
Yeah, and I'd also say they're young. This is something. Unfortunately, not only can it be bad, but it's also this is something that it's just going to take some trial and error. The actual threesome might be hit or miss. It also could have some negative repercussions. Not that you can't get over them and fix them, but it's like you got to know what you're signing up for.
You're opening the door to possibilities.
Yes.
Of all kinds.
You are just barely opening Pandora's box up, but you're opening it up.
Well, it can also be a positive thing, because when you open it up
Absolutely.
with a third person, you realize there's other things you sexually like and things you hadn't experimented with before, and it can kind of open up.
And you enjoy sharing that experience with someone you love.
Yeah.
You're also 23 and 25. Do it. You're
Just do
young.
it.
Have the experience.
I know.
So how do they-
wait till they're 35?
Be
It's going to be a
safe.
very different message.
Yeah,
Be
yeah.
They
safe.
had a threesome this morning. Look, I want to know about, it's like it's very blasé.
It's that meme of Miss Mamshi. She is a drag queen in Brooklyn, and she does these like online videos, and it's a point of view video where her husband gets home from work. She makes some spaghetti. She sits down, and the scene cuts to them at this really long dining table, and he's eating the spaghetti, and it cuts up to her, and she goes, "So what did you mean that you wanted to be open?"
Yeah, dude. I mean, look, I think that our friend here is good to go. Just give it a whirl. You're young.
Just go
You're on
for
the
it.
same page with your partner, which is important. And just be prepared for a range of outcomes. Was he asking about how to find a person or no?
I just want to make
Okay,
sure that
well,
this other
that-
person, understand what the dynamic is, also feels comfortable and a good time.
He
Yes,
just
so let me
wanted
know.
general tips on how to
Yeah.
set it all up, get it going.
I was like,
Yeah.
finding a third in the gay world, please. It's like, that's the easy
Yeah,
part.
yeah, yeah.
That is
yeah,
the easy
yeah,
part,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love it. What a beautiful culture.
Walk down Hell's Kitchen and throw a stone. You've hit about 82 gays that'll have a threesome.
What else we got here, little Eldest?
Hey, Stavvy, Eldest, and other divas in the show. I'm a 25-year-old woman who's in kind of a funny situation. I met this guy on Bumble, and it turns out he's really fucking rich. His parents own like 10 private hospitals in Texas.
Oh, nice.
He has a trust
Pause this.
fund.
10 private hospitals. His wealth comes from something that shouldn't exist.
I was gonna say I would feel uncomfortable in that. Well, at least like Procter and Gamble, like it's like something else.
Even
like,
that.
At least own
There's no-
for-profit prisons.
Yeah, yeah.
What are we doing here?
I mean, I guess it's true. There's no one that rich is for anything good.
My parents own
none of
10
them are
private
ethical.
hospitals in
Yeah.
Texas. Okay.
Anyway,
Who did they vote for?
I think we know.
I think we know.
I think we have a hunch.
Hospitals in Texas. He has a trust fund. He's doing a PhD in finance in Australia, where I live.
Ugh.
And working for a
guy
hedge
sounds
fund. So he's like
horrible.
the epitome of late-stage capitalism. I think he has some sort of paypig fetish because I haven't
Okay.
fucked him or anything. But
Okay.
I've just been really mean to
I
him.
like this.
Anyways, my issue with him is that he's
Anyways.
been kind of periodically ghosting me every so often because he's scared of getting taken advantage of, which is fair because that's totally what I'm doing. So I was just wondering, do you think what I'm doing is morally corrupt? And if your answer to that question is no, how do I keep him
This girl's
keen and keep
awesome.
him sending me money and kind of reignite his interest and prove to him that I'm worth it, even though I'm totally not? Anyways, love you guys. Let me know.
Sweetie, you're the girl in this relationship, so you got it in the bag.
Yeah.
You just gotta...
Well, she said she hasn't fucked him or anything, or
But if she hasn't fucked him and he's still
yeah,
reaching out, I mean, she's got the golden ticket.
yeah.
I've got a golden ticket.
I mean, if to keep a pay pig on the hook is what she's asking. How do you do it? This is a hard one because I don't have this at all.
Find out what his interests are and play into them.
Nick, you are such a gaslighting manipulative.
That's what she wants. She
I
wants an
know.
answer.
I
Because
don't
you're
have
right.
anything on this. This seems weird and uncomfortable.
Oh,
and
boo!
I don't have any.
Mateo's against the working class.
Yeah.
He wants this fucking. He wants this fucking finance, bro.
God forbid women have hobbies. Like, come on now. Let the girl have her fun.
Let
She's
her-
in Australia. She doesn't have a lot of wins.
Yeah,
All right.
I agree. Look, I think the thing is you just gotta, because it's not a. It seems like she just met him on Bumble, right? They're like not even really dating, or they've been out a couple times. What you say at the very beginning? Scroll up.
She met him on Bumble. It doesn't seem like they're
They met on
official
Bumble.
or anything.
Yeah.
They haven't even fucked.
Yeah, I mean,
He's
look,
just peeling her off some cash.
just I would
He's got
say,
it.
I would say exactly. I would say the middle ground here is like, look, don't overdo it. The golden goose is gonna run dry at some point.
Yeah, eventually
And
it'll stop.
don't overdo it. Don't try and like whatever. Like if this guy wants to give you some cash and you're not that interested, and you're just texting him a little bit or like a selfie or two does it. whatever, keep it going.
He's
But
a piece of shit, but you have to think like a guy that rich eventually is gonna be like, this is fun, but I'm ready to get some pussy. I'm tired of fucking around.
Or
with
eventually
this.
he'll ghost her and do it with another girl.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to be prepared for.
Right.
It's not worth becoming a super villain to try and take his trust fund, but
Yeah.
he
Have you
gets some
thought about
shoes
a
out of
threesome
it.
with a queer couple?
Yeah. Set him up with 2 guys.
Maybe that's
Just don't come off desperate. Just look,
Yeah.
if he's going to send the money, he's clearly got it.
Yeah.
Show some interest here and there, collect the goods, and
Or-
then eventually.
Or try a harder turn of pure paypiggery, of calling him a piece of shit and like, you little spoiled boy, send me $100 now. And then, you know what I mean? Why not? It could work. Those girls, I don't know how they do it, but there are guys that respond to shit like that.
yeah.
True.
I'm a catch more flies with honey kind of guy personally. I
Same.
prefer not to be treated badly. I love to be treated very nicely by hot women personally. That's sort of my kink. Is when a hot woman is
Respect.
really nice to me.
Yeah.
I'm
I
a
always
kinky
treat people
guy.
Really nice.
Okay, Nick.
All right. Well, salute to you. Get the bag down under.
Hey, Stavvy, Eldest. Thanks for all you do, man. Hey, I got a conundrum here. I'm hoping you boys can help me out, and you too, guest. So, just for some context, I've been married with my wife for 11 years. Been together for a while. I'm 33. She's 34.
Oh, God.
And when we first started dating, we're out partying together and fucking
Yeah, you were
drinking and
kids.
smoking and shit. All the cool shit that we used to do. But as she's gotten older, she's gotten fucking dumb, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. She's a great cook.
Christ.
Dumb.
Amazing mom. Throws it back, all that good stuff. Nice titties, nice butt cheeks. But she's fucking dumb where she is into flat earth and all the
Okay, he's
usual
right. He's
conspiracy
right.
theories. Which whatever, right? Like a lot of people believe a lot
Hold
of
up,
different
pause
things,
right
right?
there. No, we're not gonna gloss over flat earthers as if this is just like
No. That won me back because
I
at
was
first
gonna
I was
say
like,
fucking dumb,
"Come on,
but
dude,
then-
relax. It's you're talking
flat
about the
earthers.
mother of your children like this,
Right.
and then
Everyone knows the Earth is a hexagon.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone knows that.
That's tough. But let's finish it, and then we'll.
WandaVision too much.
Flat Earth and all the usual conspiracy theories. Which whatever, right? Like a lot of people believe a lot of different things, right?
Yeah.
But my
that's a
problem
problem.
is that we now have a 10-year-old, and she's rubbing off some of these conspiracy theories on him, and so I just kind of want to get some thoughts on how I can have the conversation that hey, it's all right if you're a dumbass, but maybe we should give our kids a chance to not be dumbasses. Anyway, love the podcast, love what you do, and hopefully we'll hear this on a free podcast. All right, thanks, bye.
Oh man, this is tough.
I don't even know where.
This is really tough, actually.
This is like
He did win me back after he said the flat earth thing. Because originally when he was like, she's gotten fucking done with kids. Look, I don't have kids, but I know a lot of moms, and they spend a lot of time talking to these kids. So they, when you don't talk to adults anymore, you basically convert to their wavelength.
Yeah.
But then when he was like, they're flat earth, I'm like,
I'm
what
with
is your
you.
children teaching you?
Yeah. I don't think there's a Bluey episode about flat earthism. I agree with you. I think this is a really difficult one because, and this is, by the way, a problem with getting married to somebody you meet when you're 20. It's like you don't know how stupid they actually are. You gotta wait at
because everyone's
least.
a fucking idiot when you're 20.
Yeah, and you're meeting and whatever.
And they probably were high in their 20s, and she probably was like, my God, the earth is flat. And he was like, she's so crazy.
Yeah. Totally. He wasn't even listening to what she was saying. He was
Yeah.
trying to fuck her. This is a real big. This is tough because, I mean, I don't want to sound the alarm bells here, but it's like this is a fundamental issue because flat earthers usually are not really won over by logic and reason.
Yeah.
Absolutely
there's
not. There's something deep and dark happening if you're a flat earther. Like there's something deeply idiotic about the entire thing.
It's also, when do you have to, because what you said is so true, Nick, where like mom and the moms I know too are like this too, they're so busy you picked up flat Earth thing,
Right.
in the middle of like raising kids and shit. Like that's crazy to like. If you
Like you're home
get into this,
breastfeeding and you're like, you know what? I think the Earth is flat.
pull up that iPad. I got some fucking interesting videos to watch while I breastfeed. But this is something that like usually happens to people when they're empty nesters and they just fill the void with like QAnon shit.
Yeah, they've never seen YouTube before, so they think everything on YouTube
It's
is
just
real.
true. Yeah. So
She's dumb on many levels.
Look, I don't necessarily know if he can say, hey, I know you're a dumbass, but don't let our kids be a dumbass with you, because she's their mom. She's allowed to talk to them how she wants.
she also believes this.
She also
right?
believes it. And like you said, flat earthers don't believe in logic.
That's the hard part,
I
yeah.
think he needs to counteract it. And when he's with the kids, show them things and talk about
the Earth is
being
really round.
But this is the problem: is that when you're parenting, the parents are supposed to be a unified.
United front.
That's right, because otherwise the kid knows how to start manipulating. Go to mom. No, mom and dad have to have the same opinion. We raise the same, because otherwise it can really confuse the child, and then the child sees you two fighting, and it sets up an uncomfortable environment where the kid isn't able to trust either one of his parents because he sees them fighting, vying for that child's attention and approval. So it sets up an unhealthy home off the bat. And as parents, it's your responsibility to, as you said, be a unified front for your child, to give them the easiest streamlined childhood so that it's not confusing in the house.
Well, that's out the window.
But you
His mom believes in the flat Earth.
Obviously, I mean, it's gone.
So we can just kind of, at this point, we're just trying to
But unified
salvage
front,
the situation. The house is burned down. Get a divorce.
unified fronts, I think, are to an extent. You can be a unified front and being like, don't bully kids. But
Right. No, that's a good. But
there are couples who are like, the wife is Jewish and the husband is Catholic.
I'm not talking about that. No.
But what I'm saying is,
that's not what I meant.
Those are their beliefs. So the one,
Unfortunately,
I believe
yes.
in this, and she's like, I believe in this.
But that's different,
And then
because
the
you're
kid can
saying to your
ultimately
kid,
decide.
hey, this is how mom grew up and we're going to celebrate her traditions. This is how dad grew up, we're going to celebrate his. So you get your children used to
Matteo,
different cultures. This is a flat earth. I'm talking about something very different.
You're again, of course you're right.
Right.
But we're dealing with like, I think that actually is how can, if you are dedicated to continuing this relationship, right? Like the first step is talk to your wife and be like, the first step is being like, how much do you believe, like actually have a qualitative discussion about like, what's going on here? I don't believe, just really feel her out. Is this just like something she thinks? How much does she believe it, right? Unfortunately, it might be kind of like a religion. You're talking about different cultures, different stuff. At the end of the day, religions are also just
culture
dumb bullshit.
I know, but culture and traditions from those cultures, not necessarily the actual belief and scientific facts.
I'm just saying
there's an issue here.
I know, but I'm just saying the only way to approach it where you can say, all right, what we can do is be a united front as parents about everything else, and then the message you can send to your kids is, look, we disagree on this. People can disagree on these things. Do your own research and figure out what you think. Go to school, talk, whatever. And you don't have to believe what either mom or dad thinks. That's the best way you can handle it. Unfortunately, I think your reaction is correct. And this is kind of a fundamental fucking problem.
Yeah.
That would... Imagine your wife out of the blue. You guys have kids, and she wants to teach your kid. She wants to teach your kid about the flat Earth. I mean, that's fucking. What do you even do?
It's a tough thing. I mean,
you think the Earth's flat?
Yeah, I'll just like it would be tough to have such a correct wife.
Yeah. I'm so tall, I can see it's flat.
I think he needs to tell Miss Christine Columbus over here to just keep running, and when she falls off, she falls off.
I mean, this is hard because flat Earth is just the tip of the iceberg. But truly, like somebody that it's not going to happen, right?
This is what I think based on his call.
As the only married person here, I assume.
He says she's.
Right.
He says,
yeah. Sorry,
my wife doesn't believe the Earth is flat.
He says she's a great mom. But she's got awesome titties and a good ass. It sounds like they're fucking pretty regularly.
That's true too.
Crazy people know how to fuck.
That is a stronger foundation for a long-lasting marriage and family than like someone believing crazy easy politics or
You ain't wrong, brother.
easily debunkable science.
You're
so
not
I think
wrong.
what he's got to do is say, like Stav is saying, yeah, figure out first of all why she's like so clinging on to this shit, but you know, ultimately, who cares? Let her think it. But you should have a discussion like, let's cool it with telling our 10-year-old this shit because it's cool if that's what you think or you're not convinced of evidence that the fucking Earth is round.
But here's the irony.
We can't be saying shit that just makes our kid look like
an idiot,
a little crazy if he's like in polite company and talking about, the Earth.
The irony is that her round butt and round titties will get flat, but the Earth is actually round, and so eventually the sex will run out, and you have to.
I don't know about that. If they're still fucking 10 years, like they've been together for 11 years.
That's nothing.
They're 34.
They've been together for 11 years. Eldest is winning me over here because what do you want? Some bitch that knows science but won't suck your dick?
Yes.
No, thank.
No.
Honestly, no.
Yeah,
Legitimately, no, dude. Legitimately, no.
I'll pass.
I mean, this is reality. This is reality here, Matteo. You can say that.
You win. You're right.
You can watch fucking Nova with your dry dick all you want, but me, I'm fucking. I'll be on YouTube.
And in terms of the impact on the kid too, it's like, well, her just being a good mom is more important than her believing dumb shit. All our parents believed like such stupid ass shit,
So
and it's like
the more you believe in lizard people, the wetter the pussy.
If that, I don't think that's the case, but I think he might have found a situation here. But if that were the case, hey,
Right.
I might be pro Alex Jones after all.
Oh my god.
I might put my skeptic's hat on.
What's the conspiracy theory that you guys hear that you're like, okay, I could kind of see that?
I don't know, really. I mean,
That all super famous people are pedophiles.
He
Yeah,
did,
they're
he's not
super
helping
rich,
that
yeah.
situation.
Mine is,
Or, yeah,
I
super
do
rich.
believe 9/11 was an inside job.
yeah.
Wow, Nick, we really went there. We just jumped in.
Never forget.
Do you know, I watched this show on YouTube called Y-Files. It's great. And what they do is half of it is like conspiracy theory or aliens or something, right? But then the other half are facts about it. And it does leave you, because like, it shows you that with the music and with the drama, you believe it, and then suddenly you're listening. Oh wait, like that couple that does all the based on the Conjuring movies, right? He goes in on all the detail about them and the ghosts and stuff. But then the other half is like, well, they were raging alcoholics. They were, there was child molestation accusations, and they were doing this to get that. Like, you see, like where their motives came from finding all these ghosts. And so it really does put into perspective everything that you hear about, alien invasion, all this stuff. So
Just who it's coming from.
Right, food for thought. Interesting.
Look,
if anyone wants
you're
the Y-Files.
so caught up on facts, Matteo.
I'm sorry. That's really not a popular opinion these days.
I started my own conspiracy theory in an episode recently. I don't think constellations are real.
I love
That's not
that.
a conspiracy theory. That's called being stupid.
So good. Yeah, I mean, also it helps to be stupid as shit for this to believe this stuff.
Yeah.
True.
Doesn't hurt. We'll do. What do you think? We got a good one here to end on.
Yeah, we do.
All right.
Hi, Stavvy. Okay, this is not advice, but I just have to know. Would you ever go on Dancing with the Stars? I don't know if you're one to dance, but I think you could bust a move. So please let me know. I think a lot of your fans would like to see it. And who knows? Maybe you'll find a hot lady with big tits who will be your partner.
That'd be cool.
I don't know. Let us know. Thanks, Stav.
Do you know the Greek dance? You know how to do the Greek dance?
I can do some of them, sure. Yeah.
What's it called?
There's a lot. There's a bunch of different ones. Like the like solo one is the Zebekiko, but then there's a bunch of other. Just the.
It's like the tarantella that we do in Italy.
Yeah, I mean, there's like, I don't know. There's like a handful of them that people do at like a wedding or a baptism or whatever. I'm not
You'd
really.
be great on Dancing with the Stars. The producers wouldn't even know what the fuck to do with you. It would be amazing.
It's awesome that this is what people want for my career, is to go on Dancing with the Stars. Like, can I make it first?
People. That's a big thing for a lot of people.
Going on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, a lot of people. I think a lot of people still watch TV, and that they'd be. You're famous. They'd be excited to see you go on that show.
I'm still, I'd like to make it a little more before we're talking about Dancing with the Stars. I'm not ready to pack. Nick, you just
Zendaya
missed.
did.
Did she? I didn't know
She
that.
won it.
Really? I didn't know that.
She did. And in a recent interview, they go, do you still watch? She goes, I have not watched a single episode since I was on that show.
I didn't realize she was on Dancing with the Stars. Maybe I should bite my tongue and follow the Zendaya career path. How old is she? She did it with
25. How old is she?
Yeah, she did it when she was a kid.
She did it when her like Disney years. Because it was a big controversy. None of you guys remember this?
No. What was the controversy?
That because she was a Disney Channel star, so she was like a singer and a dancer, and everyone was like, it's rigged. She's a dancer. She's a dancer.
Yeah. Well, what's her face from Dirty Dancing won? It was like, yeah, that was in the movie. Like, she literally learned how to dance with Patrick Swayze. And of course she won Dancing with the Stars. It's easier.
They would probably say that about me if I went on. They'd be like, this is rigged. This man is too lithe. His movements are too beautiful. Yeah,
he was an athlete when he was younger.
He was a junior varsity. He was a varsity football player on the Baltimore Polytechnic Institute football team.
I don't know how to dance. I would never do the show.
Is there a reality competition you would do? Survivor,
I would want to
do. We want to do Amazing Race.
Yeah, because we would lose first episode.
Yeah,
but also amazing television.
Yeah.
Just Nick being like, Jesus.
I'd like to, not now, but I would like to, when I polish my cooking skills, I would like to do Chopped. I'm a huge Chopped fan. And maybe even the Great British I mean, I wouldn't be the British one, but some kind of baking competition.
Are you watching the Great British Bake Off this season?
I haven't watched it in a while. We watched
Dylan. There's a guy this season. His name is Dylan. He is the most beautiful human being.
Really?
Everyone in the world would agree. He looks like a fucking Thundercat. Like, he is so unique looking, so beautiful. His cheekbones, and he's so sweet.
Go to Images. What are you
I love that you
doing?
don't go to Images.
Fucking idiot.
No.
This guy,
get a good one. Get a good one. That's
this guy is whatever. He's all right.
No, you got to see him in the show when he's
with the hat there.
He's fine. You guys are overdoing this guy. I was getting ready to get horny. This guy's just okay.
He's gorgeous. I love him. And everyone's obsessed with him.
He's all right looking.
No, you got to watch the show.
I'll watch the show.
Oh, and Nelly's great too. Yeah,
I'll watch the show. All right. Well, how about one more, Elders? Anything?
But I did love that question.
It was a
just
fun
fully
question.
like, I just would love to see you on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah. If not, fuck it. I don't give a fuck.
Maybe now they'll see you on Chopped.
Someday, the Chopped kitchen. There's a lot of pressure there.
Or like Chopped celebrity.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Cola Scola did a sketch where they would pretended. What was her name?
Lorraine.
Lorraine was on Chopped. They edited it so
that's
like
awesome.
what you're eating is cat hair. I just put it together. It's so good. Cole's a genius.
Yeah. Cole.
Have you seen O'Mary?
I can't wait. I haven't gone. I really want to go.
So
yeah.
Cole
is so funny.
So funny. Do you remember Cole back in the day, like at shows, like at Pine Box or like Union Hall and stuff?
Yeah.
They were always doing sketches that
they
just turned so dark so quickly.
I mean, the first thing I saw of them was the it was promoting like a show, but it was like a lady getting interviewed.
Yes,
for,
the murder documentary.
The murder documentary thing.
The whole thing.
That's the best one.
It was insanely funny.
So he came to the office.
Yeah.
And I thought something about that.
Something wasn't right. And it was just
then
so
he was
funny.
dragging a dead horse across, and I thought something about
just never
that.
catches on.
Never.
So good.
So I said, "Did you murder your sister?" He said, "I did." I said, "Okay, something's not happening."
Well, whatever. Fuck the last call. That's good enough, man. We had a great episode.
My sister-in-law is a dumb bitch. Fuck her.
We'll save that for another time. Matteo, Nick, thank you so much for coming.
Evgaristo.
Watch.
Evgaristo.
Yeah, very good. Watch the podcast.
I Never Liked You on YouTube. I'm on tour, the Can't Stop Talking tour. Go to MatteoLaneComedy.com for tickets.
Love that.
Nick, where can they see you on tour?
Opening for you sometimes. Or we both have YouTube channels.
He comes out and does 4 minutes. And I intro him. I go, this is the worst person I've ever met. Their audience is already losing it.
Yeah. Beautiful. We'll see them. See the fellas, and thank you. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you next time.
Grazie mille, ragazzi.
Grazie.